Let me start off by introducing our teachers. Then I'll go ahead and introduce some others who are here visiting today as well. And from Norte Vista High School, Allison Barron. Allison, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
And Allison, what about your word and your experience?
Shocking and chaotic. We found out on Friday the 13th during sixth period. We thought it was only going to be for a couple weeks, and then it was extended. The first couple weeks, I gave my students some book work. I was real lucky with my English language learners. They had a novel at home and a big packet I had copied. We were preparing for the SBAC. So they had book work. Technology is not a luxury. It is a necessity. And I was very thankful that I had used Remind with my students. So I text them a lot. And I also use Google Classroom and do Zoom meetings. It was kind of funny. My watch kept going off. One of my students just got a job at Taco Bell. So a senior, texted me, "Yippee, I got the job at Taco Bell. Thank you for being my reference." So like Candace said, I really, really miss my students, and they send me pictures. They cut their hair and they dyed it and they got jobs, and they share these things with me. So it's changed so much, but there are still like small glimpses of positivity.
Yeah, and you might have to look a little deeper for it, but I think you all have really identified the personal relationships. It seems as though it's an opportunity to engage on a more personal level with your students, even though perhaps it might not be with every one of them. It seems as though it's really very personal to be in people's homes because you are remotely in their homes. It's all very, very different, as Sharon really coined that, because differentiation, all the D word that really drives a lot of what we do is becoming crystal clear as you really get to know your kids on a personal level. Well, let's see what we have here. Stephen Light, are you here?
Yes.
Well, Stephen, hello. This is Dr. Muserino. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Is that a cat behind you? Oh, we're going to get our cat video. Anytime you could add a cat to a podcast, you're in good show. Thank you for that. Stephen, welcome. And hold on a second here. Let's see. Lizette, are you here? Avila? Hello, Lizette. You may be muted.
Hello.
There you are. Hi, Lizette.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Dr. Muserino. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And we have a special surprise here for our teacher. I think they just figured it out. Let's see. How about Juana? Juana Esteban Diego. Juana, are you here? I think she's still connecting. Oh, there you are. Hi, Juana. I'm Dr. Muserino. Nice to see you. God, look at these beautiful smiles. You know, every time we have kids and we have students every week in the podcast, it makes you miss things even more. And let's see, we also we're waiting for Brian Molina. Brian, are you here?
Yes.
Brian, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing great, thank you. Let's see you. Can we see your video too? Is that okay?
Yes.
Well, we'll wait for Brian to come on so we could all see him as well. Well, students, thank you for joining us today. And teachers, we conspired to do this. We wanted to have your students here today to talk about you, because it's students that we're all about in Alvord, and that's why we all signed up for what we do. So we thought there'd be no better way to celebrate your honor than to have your students here. There's Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
There we go. Let me close this out. All right, Brian, welcome. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to go to the to our principals, and we're going to talk a little bit about our Teachers of the Year. And we have 4 of them here in the podcast today, our 3 finalists for the County Teacher of the Year and the 2020 Best Award winner, Teacher of the Year. So we're going to talk a little bit about them from an administrative perspective. As a principal myself for 17 years, my life was all about teachers and students. It still is as a superintendent of schools. But as a principal, you obviously rely so much on your teachers to extend what it is that you're trying to create and what you're trying to achieve as a school. Now, we also have our Best Award Teacher of the Year, Allison Barron, here. So, Mr. Marquez, principal of Norte Vista High School.
Thank you again for having me here. Miss Barron, being a teacher is obviously a difficult profession. And what I, respect with Miss Barron is she shows up every day and is all about the students. From the starting bell to the ending bell, she's all about the students. She's professional. She's very calm in her demeanor. Whenever I'm in her class, her demeanor just seems to influence or does influence the classroom, and the students are calm and everyone's busy and there's no disruption. It just seems to rub off. And so, she is that role model for those students. She never stops fighting for the students. I can tell you, she's always asking me, Mr. Marquez, this is what I need next. Mr. Marquez, if you want me to do this for these kids, this is what I need. And I found this. And so I appreciate that. Even though some may look at it as I'm bugging him, it's not that, because I know she has her students' interest in her mind from the start of the day to the end of the day. And even probably when she goes home, she's thinking of these things. So I appreciate that. And that lets me know, makes me work even harder on how I can support her, because I know she's doing her best to support our students. And so, I truly appreciate it. She has some challenging classes, but she does not just her best, as in the award, but above that. And with her Sheltered English 3, as Juana will jump in here in a second, she's done amazing with that group and has really taken it under her wing and made those kids prosper. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Barron, for all you do for Norte Vista, for the students, for the community. So well-deserved. Thank you very much, Miss Barron.
Well, thank you, Mr. Marquez. Now, we have Juana Esteban Diego. Now, Juana, I understand you've been in the country for 2 years, and here you are joining us for this podcast. We're so happy and delighted that you're here to join us. So tell us about your experience with Mrs. Barron.
Miss Barron is a special teacher. She teaches her class in a unique way because she is always motivating us every day to be better and to push ourselves with the assignments. Academically, Miss Barron has helped me overcome to fear I have to speak English with other people. And she makes us practice with one another so that we can improve and not feel afraid. During the time I've been in her class, she's helped me improve my writing and my pronunciation. And now I understand much better and I can express myself without fear when speaking to others. And first of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Barron for all the effort she has put into us so that we can learn. And thanks to her, I've been able to improve academically and overcome several obstacles that often stop us from communicating and interaction with other people. Thank you, Ms. Barron, and congratulations.
Well, Well, Juana, besides your $1,000,000 smile, you articulate beautifully. Your pronunciation is beautiful. Miss Barron has done a wonderful job, and also doesn't seem to be any fear either. Here you are on a podcast with a bunch of other people, and you just do it. So, thank you so much for saying what you just said. We're going to go back to Miss Barron. Miss Barron, that was incredible.
Thank you so much, Juana. I really appreciate it. I miss you so much, and I miss your sass. Juana is tiny but sassy, and she would whip her group into working, and her English got better throughout the year. She would just talk and talk more in English, and her academic English has improved so much, and I'm so proud of you. And this means the world to me that you came on this podcast and you spoke English to everyone so articulately. So thank you very much. You made my eyes water, and you know I never cry. And Mr. Marquez, thank you for always answering my emails, not trying to escape me when you come into the classroom and I ask you for questions, and I ask you things that I need for my students to be successful. It's all about the students, what I can do to make my students be successful. Thank you for the support.
Well, thank you, Allison. I think we all have learned why or what it takes to become a teacher of the year.